Tennis. Eala opens Australian Open debut against US ace Alycia Parks. Eala is set to make her long-awaited Australian Open main draw debut with a first-round assignment against WTA number 100 Alycia Parks. The Filipina teen, currently ranked number 49 in the WTA rankings, will face Parks in what will be the pair's first-ever meeting on the WTA Pro Tour. The 25-year-old Parks reached a career-high ranking of world number 40 in August 2023 and owns a WTA singles title after capturing the 2023 Lyon Open, where she defeated home favorite Caroline Garcia in the final. She has also found success in doubles, winning 2 WTA titles, including the prestigious 2023 Cincinnati Open, alongside Coco Gauff. Read, Eala keeps making waves, shares spotlight with tennis icons. Known for her power, Parks shares the record for the fastest serve in US Open history with Venus Williams, both clocking a blistering 129 miles per hour at different editions of the tournament. Parks achieved the feat during her 2021 Grand Slam debut, matching Williams' long-standing 2007 record and placing her among the fastest servers ever on the WTA Tour. An American born in Atlanta, Georgia, Parks has been coached by her father, Michael Parks, since childhood. She began playing tennis at the age of 7 and moved with her older sister to Florida at the age of 10 to access higher-level training. Read, tennis. Eala repeats over Vekic in last warm-up before Australian Open. After graduating from high school in 2019, Parks declined multiple college scholarship offers to pursue a professional tennis career full-time. Parks turned professional in 2019 and made her WTA main draw debut at the Charleston Open in 2021. If Eala wins the first round, she will face the winner between WTA number 19 Karolina Muchova and WTA number 37 Jacqueline Christian. For Eala, the match against Parks marks another milestone in her rapidly progressing career. Against Parks' power and experience, the encounter promises an intriguing clash for the Filipina star as she begins her Australian Open journey. A first serve into the sun, Eala opens her Australian Open journey against Alycia Parks. The Australian Open has a particular way of announcing itself, not with noise alone, but with light. The Melbourne sun spills onto the courts like a challenge, daring every player to stand tall beneath it. On one such morning, that light finds Eala walking through the gates of Melbourne Park, her racket bag slung over her shoulder, her name newly printed on a Grand Slam draw beside a formidable opponent, Alycia Parks of the United States. For Eala, this is not just a match. It is a moment years in the making. She comes from a country where basketball courts outnumber tennis courts, where the sound of bouncing balls is more often echoed by cheers for boxing champions and volleyball stars. Yet tennis has always been her language. From the clay courts of Mallorca, where she trained at the Rafa Nadal Academy, to junior Grand Slam titles that hinted at something special, Eala has been writing her story with patience and discipline. The Australian Open is the next chapter, one written not in promise, but in arrival. Across the net stands Alycia Parks, a player forged in power and pace. Her serve is a statement, her ground strokes punctuation marks that end rallies abruptly. Parks represents a different tennis upbringing, American hard courts, athletic explosiveness, confidence built on imposing one's game rather than waiting for openings. Where Eala constructs points like a chess player, Parks attacks like a sprinter off the blocks. The matchup itself feels symbolic. Youth and belief against raw force and experience. Strategy against speed. It is the kind of pairing the Australian Open loves, one that reminds the world why Grand Slams are not just tournaments, but theaters. As the warm-up begins, the contrast is clear. Parks' serves crack the air, drawing murmurs from the crowd. Eala moves lightly, her footwork economical, her eyes constantly calculating. She does not try to match power with power. Instead, she listens to the court, feeling its rhythm, testing angles, searching for spaces where her left-handed spin can disrupt the tempo. For Filipino fans watching back home, many of them waking before dawn, every point feels personal. Eala is not merely representing herself, she is carrying a flag rarely seen on tennis's biggest stages. In her calm posture is a quiet defiance of history, a suggestion that tennis geography is expanding, that excellence can emerge from unexpected places. The first game unfolds like a conversation. Parks speaks loudly, dictating with her serve. Eala responds thoughtfully, extending rallies, bending shots cross-court, refusing to be rushed. When Eala earns her first break point, the moment feels electric. Not because it guarantees anything, but because it proves something. She belongs here. This is the beauty of a Grand Slam debut. There is freedom in being new. Eala plays without the burden of past losses in Melbourne, without scars from 5-set heartbreaks or second-week expectations. Each point is fresh, each game an exploration. She smiles after a long rally even when she loses it, acknowledging not the scoreboard, but the experience. Parks, for her part, is tested. Power alone does not always solve puzzles. Eala's variety, her drop shots, her looping forehands, her ability to change direction down the line, asks questions that cannot be answered with force alone. The match becomes less about who hits harder and more about who adapts faster. As the sun climbs higher, the court tells its own story. Hard courts reward courage, but they also punish impatience. When Parks misses long by inches, when Eala threads a passing shot past an onrushing opponent, the crowd leans in. Neutral fans begin to choose sides, drawn to the underdog narrative that tennis so often produces on its biggest stages. Win or lose, this match is already a victory of a different kind for Eala. It is proof that her journey, from junior prodigy to professional contender, is real and irreversible. The Australian Open does not grant charity invitations, it demands readiness. By stepping onto that court, Eala confirms that she has earned her place. For young players watching from Manila, Cebu, Davao, and beyond, the image matters. A Filipina athlete competing under the blazing Australian sun, trading blows with one of the world's most powerful players, sends a message louder than any trophy ceremony: the path exists. As the final games unfold, there is tension, effort, and respect exchanged across the net. Alycia Parks brings the full weight of her weapons. Eala brings composure, creativity, and a refusal to shrink. The handshake at the end, regardless of the score, feels less like an ending and more like a beginning. The Australian Open moves on, as it always does, toward champions and headlines. But somewhere between the first serve and the last rally, a debut has quietly expanded the map of tennis. Eala has opened her Australian Open journey not just against Alycia Parks, but against the limits once placed on where tennis dreams can come from.